Selling days with Lisa Hayes. With the price she pays, you'll be amazed. She's a national.
How much notice to give tenant when selling house? Selling a property with tenants can be a complicated process, especially if you decide to terminate the tenant's tenancy first. This means you must give them notice to sell property. Given the different kinds of tenancy and the changes that came with the COVID pandemic, many landlords are no longer sure about how much notice they need to give tenants when selling property. If you're in this dilemma, fret not. In this article we will guide you through the different types of tenancy, how much notice to give a tenant when selling your property UK, what you need to do if a tenant refuses to vacate, and the fastest way to sell. Types of tenancy. There are several types of tenancy you may have with your tenants. Each will have different terms, hence a different amount of time you can give as notice to tenant when selling property. Therefore, you'll do well to understand what each of these tenancy types entail so you know the tenancy agreement you have. Here are the common 4 types of tenancies. 1. Assured tenancy. Tenancies that started anytime between January 1, 1998 and February 1997 are likely to fall under this category. This type of tenancy provides more protection from eviction for your tenants, so it's unlikely that you will evict them. 2. Excluded tenancies. This type of tenancy agreement isn't common because it allows the tenant to lodge with the landlord. The tenant and the landlord share rooms. Even then, this agreement offers less protection for tenants when it comes to eviction. 3. Regulated tenancies. This applies where your tenancy came into effect before the 15th of January 1989. Tenants enjoy increased protection from being evicted and can also apply for fair rent. 4. Assured short-hold tenancies, AST. This is the most common type of tenancy, as most tenancy agreements fall under this category. Assured short-hold tenancy is characterized by the following. The tenancy agreement came into effect on the 15th of January 1989. The property you're renting is private. The landlord doesn't reside in the property, if you are a tenant. The property is your main residence, in the case of tenants. A tenancy can't qualify to be an assured short-hold tenancy if the rent payable is less than £250 annually or £1,000 in London. The tenancy began before the 15th of January 1989. The property is only let for holidays. The rent is more than £100,000 annually. If you're a tenant, the landlord is a local council. It's either a business tenancy or the tenancy of a premise that is licensed. Can I sell a property with tenants fast? If you want to sell your property with tenants fast, you don't have to spend time researching how much notice to give your tenants when selling. Instead, you can consider the option of selling tenanted property. While it can be tricky selling your property with tenants in situ, it will save you time because you don't have to give your tenants notice or even evict those who refuse to leave. You can explore different methods to sell your tenanted property fast that include selling through an estate agent, selling at an auction, or selling to a house buying company. 1. Selling tenanted property through an estate agent. This is usually the first call for many property owners, as it is the traditional method of selling property. Just because estate agents are known to sell properties for buyers who want to move in, it doesn't mean that they can't sell tenanted property. You can talk to estate agents to see their experience in selling property with tenants. Look up their reviews, invite them to value your property before you decide the right sales method. The challenge with this is that tenants must give consent for each viewing. They also have the right to refuse. You must give them 24 hours notice before viewing. You must make sure you don't breach their right to live in quiet enjoyment, so you don't appear to be harassing them. The other issue with selling through an estate agent is that you can't tell tenants that they need to make the house look presentable. Moreover, tenanted properties are less valuable and only appeal to a small pool of prospective buyers, so the number of people looking to buy may be small. Lastly, the tenant may also complicate the process, further delaying the process. All these point to the fact that selling property with tenants on the open market may not be the fastest. 2. Selling through an auction. Selling a property with tenants through an auction is better than selling on the open market because you can get access to a pool of serious buyers looking for tenanted property. Even then, you will still need to host open days for potential buyers to look around. This means you have to ensure the tenant is in agreement, otherwise prospective buyers won't bid on a property they haven't seen. Selling through an auction is usually not the fastest way to sell a house because you have to wait for at least 6 weeks before the property gets an approval for auction. Moreover, besides waiting for the approval, you also must wait for the property auction to come up, and this may take several months. Going the auction way is also expensive because you have to cater for marketing costs, pay for room hire and the auctioneer's commission, not to mention the legal fees. Yet, you don't even have a guarantee that you're going to find a buyer for your tenanted property at the auction. 3. Selling to a house buying company. Selling a property with tenants to a house buying company like Ready Steady Sell is the fastest and most affordable option available. Quick house sale companies will cover all the fees involved in the sale of your property, including legal fees, and still complete the sale within days. Quick house sale companies will only require quick viewing of the property just to be sure the cash offer is accurate. Even better, house buying companies will buy the property as is, so you don't have to worry that they'll be put off by the tenants. All you must do is make sure you're dealing with a genuine company. In conclusion, while it's possible to sell a property with tenants, you must make sure you give them enough notice so you're not in breach of their legal rights. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure to check out the blog post version for a lot more information.
If you're trying to sell but it's not going well, if you can't get a sale and the estate agent fell, now is the time for you to jump and praise. Selling days with Lisa Hayes. With the price she pays, you'll be amazed. She's a national cash buyer, and she'll pay you much higher today.